My ex-boyfriend left me for another girl and now he wants me back. What do I do? I had been with my ex-boyfriend for a year. The relationship started out rough because I got pregnant the first time we ever. He wanted nothing to do with the baby or me suddenly, but abortion wasn't an option for me. So I decided to raise the baby on my own. We went our separate ways for about 6 weeks. I ended up miscarrying and he came back around. We started dating again and had a very slow progressing relationship. We lived 2 hours away from each other, but I spent almost every weekend with him at his place. We sometimes had problems communicating, but overall I'd say we had a very deep relationship and I know for a fact I thought I was madly in love. Fast forward a year and he's telling me how much he loves me every day. We had our animals and I loved his son like my own. We had our family. We were planning our future and had met each other's families. We had a wonderful Father's Day weekend and were really in love. Or so, I thought. I left Monday morning and we had plans for the upcoming weekend. On Wednesday he went out with the guys, pretty late, but he said he had a blast with them as he doesn't go out much and I was extremely happy. He deserved that. The following day he said the guys wanted to go out again, but he was still tired from the night before, so he didn't think he was going to go. We talked about the whole thing on the phone when we got off of work. When we hung up he immediately sent me a text to let me know he decided to go out with them again. He told me he loved me and I told him the same. To let me know he's safe at home when he gets back so I could rest without worry. 6 hours go by. No word from him. Very out of character. We always checked in with each other every couple hours just to say hey. 2 a.m. rolls around and I still hadn't heard from him. I was so worried he was in some kind of accident. I privately messaged his friends to see if he was still with them and was okay. He got energy. Said he was embarrassed that I did that. I felt terrible. He was finally home safe and I apologized immensely for being a worrywart. I felt ashamed and embarrassing. The next morning, I woke up to a Facebook video on my newsfeed that he was tagged in posted by another girl, 20F. Just the two of them hanging on each other. Very confused, I asked him who she was. He said I don't know who you're talking about. Who's that? Knowing how ridiculous it was to have to show him what he already knew. I shared the video with him. He said it was just some girl he was riding with and that I needed to calm down. He decided to tell me it was over between us that same night because I was too crazy. Too sensitive. Too dramatic. And that he liked her. Wanted to pursue her. And be with her. That thanks to me I probably scared her away. Of course my heart was smashed. I mean, I'd never felt a pain like this in my entire life. I felt like I lost my whole world and my family. I felt dispensable. Old. Unattractive. Worthless. Considering she was 14 years younger than him and 9 younger than me, but everything that we'd been through and worked for had to be stronger than a pretty 20-year-old, right? Wrong. I very anxiously and stupidly tried to reason with him. How could he do this? Was I not good enough? What does she have that I'm not doing for you? How could you tell me you loved me on the way to see her, knowing it was wrong? I kept myself in good shape and I take care of myself from my nails to my teeth to my hair to my skin, from working out to pedicures. I didn't think I was falling through the cracks here. He blocked my phone number and all means of communication. I was depressed and gut-wrenched for weeks. I mean, just trying to get through my day every day was brutal. Here I was, unable to move on. I had no desire to date or talk to any other man. I still loved him after all this. I just wanted him back. I was so confused. I couldn't understand any of it. A few weeks into the heartbreak, my life ended up getting drastically better. I decided to focus on myself. I moved into a beautiful apartment, I was employee of the month at my job, I got a raise and I was finally feeling like myself again. I still had no desire to move on quite yet and it still hurt to hear through the grapevine that he was telling her how much loved her and he couldn't wait to have children with her so they could tuck them in together at night. But apparently the relationship only lasted a few weeks. She ended up not wanting to be with him. Exactly 2 months after Father's Day. He got arrested. He used his one free phone call on me. To tell me he loved me and he was going to jail. That he made a mistake and I was the one who got away. It's been a couple weeks now and we've been keeping in touch. He's told me everything I've always wanted to hear. And how sorry he is for hurting me. That I never deserved it and it was a he problem and not a me problem. That she was not at all better than me. I still feel like I love him, but it obviously still hurts. If I take him back, will he just hurt me again? Or was this really his wake-up call? I can be reunited with my sweet family and live the life we were always meant to live? Thanks in advance for any advice. Please don't be too harsh, lol. Yeah, girl's heart is still a little beat up over this. Comment. Run. For the love of all that is your sanity. Run. He will drag you through the cycle over and over again. Mourn this relationship and move on. He's shown you who he is twice now. You deserve better. He deserves time to think in jail. Don't let him live you after, don't send him money. Honey, I'm sorry to break it to you, but he only bothering because he got dumped and he see how easily manipulated you are. He will do it again when the next girl shows interest, then when that's over come back to you because like I said, gullible. Sorry. But no, block his number and let him go. Girl. What? What are you doing? The second he left you when you were pregnant and came back when you miscarried showed that he does not care about you. And will clearly leave and come back whenever it's convenient. Please have some self-respect and show some self-love and tell this loser to get bent. Have you lost your mind? This guy has proven twice already that he will bail when the going gets tough. A real man wouldn't do that. You got ditched for being pregnant and then when the coast was clear, he came back. Then he meets a 20-year-old and ditches you yet again. And what a surprise, she left him and then he wants back again. I would say that he is only talking to you now because you are giving him money and got him a lawyer. This guy is the biggest schmuck walking God's green earth and you're not far behind by falling for his nonsense over and over again. So when you're having a rough time and need reassurance, he's out. When things seem like they should be going great, but he's bored and wants to know what else is out there, he's out. But when he's in trouble and has literally nowhere else to go, suddenly he's sorry and saying all the right things. Come on. Be smarter than this. Han, you don't love him. You love the idea of the man you thought he was before he threw you over for someone who was barely an adult. A 34-year-old pursuing a 20-year-old. Not exactly a stand-up fellow, more a creepy user. And even this 20-year-old child saw through him pretty quickly. Time for you to see him as he is, not as you thought he was. He's a creep who chased a child he thought he could control, and only called you professing love when she washed her hands of him. He thinks he can count on dependable you, so easy to take for granted. Time for you to straighten your back, look reality in the face, and refuse any further contact from him. You are the whole package, smart, professionally successful, great apartment, and enough life experience to know which men are worth your time and which ones are not. This loser is not worth another moment of your precious life. Let him find someone else to call from jail. You are better than this, and you can do a lot better than him. Oh no. Don't let him manipulate you. Do you really think you're the only woman he's calling and saying this all to? He's a liar and cheater. Those are facts. He's already proved that to you. He left you and only came back when he needed something from you. He needs your money and support. He would not reciprocate that if you were in need. Please see that. He's back because he knew how easy it would be to rope you back in. You're still young. Go out and find someone who will put you above all others. Not someone who only comes to you when he's in need. Next story 2. I feel like my best friend doesn't like me anymore and I don't know what to do. So I will start off by saying this, my social skills are pretty shit, I don't have many friends. I have a couple okay friends but a lot of them live out of state and I don't see them really at all anymore. My only real friend is Mary, not her real name. After high school I lost a majority of my friends due to some major health issues and Mary was the only one who never left me. We got pretty close in our sophomore year of high school and by the time we graduated we were best friends. We used to hang out all of the time, she's even gone on family vacation with me a couple times. But I've noticed for the past few months things have really changed in our relationship. I feel like I'm the one putting in all of the effort. It really started getting a bit strange when she had a fight with her boyfriend and came over to my house to get away from him for a few days. After she made up with him she started becoming more distant from me. She kept flaking out on plans and stopped telling me things. I am by no means an open person but I still tell her about important things going on in my life. Mary used to tell me everything, even the little details, but recently that has stopped. She was truly a chronic oversharer. Now anytime we talk she'll casually mention some major life change that I had no idea about and say, oh, I forgot to tell you, I guess, when I'm confused about what she's talking about, but then she never elaborates or actually explains what happened. We also haven't seen each other in several months now, not due to lack of effort on my end. During this time she has not once tried to make plans. I try to make plans almost every other week and she either never responds, says she already has plans with someone else, or cancels on me day of. Back in May we were supposed to go to a festival type thing that we were both really excited about, and I texted her the day before to confirm that we were still going, and Mary had said that she made plans with her boyfriend instead because there was a chance of rain. It never rained. Since then it's been excuse after excuse. I invited her to go to a party with me. Sorry, I'm already going to my friends that day. I've invited her to my house. I'm actually feeling sick so I don't think I can make it. I invite her over for dinner. No response. It has gotten bad enough that today my mom complained that she keeps canceling on me. My final straw was about 2 weeks ago. I had an awful week, like the worst week of my life. I ended up in the hospital, and after I was released I went back to work and immediately had to deal with the mess that piled up while I was gone, and had to deal with belligerent patients who don't care that we are short-staffed. They just want to yell at me about things out of my control. I knew we were both off work that day, so I texted her early that morning, hey, can we please go to this place we used to go to all of the time? I really want to get out of the house today. She didn't respond for 36 hours. Her response was, LOL, I forgot to respond. I didn't even get an apology. Now today she told me that she can no longer attend an important event with me next week because she accidentally scheduled something else that day. I told her about this months ago and asked if she wanted to go with me, and she said yes. She did text me that she was sorry this time, but I haven't responded because it's not okay. I am tired of feeling like there's always something more important than me. I don't know what to do in this situation. I want to say something, but I don't want to ruin my friendship worse than it already is. I struggle a lot with self-worth and feeling like no one likes me, and this whole situation has basically confirmed all of my anxiety. I am not a high-maintenance person. I am okay with only hanging out once or twice a month and going a couple days without talking, but this has gone far beyond that. My biggest fear is that I bring up to her that I feel like I'm the only one putting in effort, and she tells me she doesn't want to be friends anymore. Any advice on how to handle this? Comment. You're at a place in your life where people just drift apart. You're not who you used to be in high school. It's tough. It's so tough and it hurts so much. I went through it too, and it's normal. You just have to let go and move on and wish them the best. What social media do you use? Search for a friends group local to your area. People organize meetups. Like board game night, quiz night at a pub, getting together at a park with dogs, going to a movie together. Heaps of people are new to it and awkward, so you won't be alone. Making new friends will help you.